You guys are just going like this.
I'm looking down. I'm not peeking. Wait, what? It sounds amazing.
1, 2, 3.
Oh my gosh! I'm firing my therapist. This is it. Whoa.
By having this aquatic connection, it is very, very peaceful. And it's because it's inside of us. There is some unique reaction and you can't really explain it. But when you ask people what they feel when they get around water, it's usually universally peace.
Has it gone the way you visualized?
It actually, for the most part, I knew we were going to have some challenges because of access, and we talked about that in the beginning. Just coming through, I knew it was going to be difficult. We had to have the right machinery, the right rocks, but having the right people and all that stuff makes all the difference in the world. So honestly, I think it has gone really, really smooth. I haven't hit any major issues at this point. No, none, which is good. And again, I don't want to say it yet because it's not running. I always hate to talk about it until it's running, but so far everything is looking phenomenal. I love the overall look.
I saw a video on TikTok, so I know it's legit, about how the roots of a tree go out like how many feet?
Past the leaf canopy.
How do you work around that?
So the roots aren't going to hurt anything. So we have been designing and building for 30 years. What happens, like if we come back here in 10 years and take the water feature out, all the roots will be going underneath it. But they don't grow through it. We're also putting in this concrete cloth material, which is going to create a barrier for anything that wants to go through the sides.
Can you tell me what wildlife we're attracting?
So water is the most important compound on planet Earth. We all need it. So you're going to get all types of things from squirrels, chipmunks, birds, frogs, salamanders.
And we'll be able to climb up?
Yes, so we started creating like a pathway along this back section. There are some flat rock. We put in some where the steeper areas are at. Those are stepping stones. So they're flat rocks, so you can kind of work your way all the way up to that gate over there. We'll see you later this afternoon. Awesome.
All right, Ed, well, we got a little pile of rock going on out there. I think we've withered it down. What do you think? We got enough rock to do this project?
We withered it down, but I think we're perfect amount on stone, which is great. So you knocked it out with that one, so I think everything came into play here.
Cool. All right,
let's make it happen.
We're getting there. One last stretch right here. Let's do it.
That's it. All right, I appreciate it, bud. For a beer. It's been a hard 3 days. Everybody came together, pulled this thing off. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's overwhelming. You get these things running, you spend not only the 3 days of building it, but anticipating, lining everything up beforehand, getting it all ready. So then it's just done. It's like,
it is, right?
Now you just
my
sit back
favorite part
relax.
is still like, you know, you plug it in.
Yeah, for sure.
You get to see, like, it's so rewarding. You can always tell you've nailed it, like when everybody just sits and doesn't say anything for a little bit. Like everybody just stared at it for a good, 5 minutes.
Laura's on her way here. Literally, we just cleaned up everything. We planted up the trees in the back. It looks like we were never here. Everything is closed up. The fence is back in place. Those trees that we took out 3 days ago have all been replanted. We mulched everything, came in with plants. Everything is swept up. It's just ready to go. Now we're just anticipating that initial reaction because everybody, again, it's an emotional thing. I mean, they're gonna be blown away. She had no idea what to expect, all the way up to actually seeing it earlier. People don't understand where all that water is gonna come from, where it goes, the power of it. And then as you start to sit back and take it all in, it's awesome.
Okay, so we thought we would walk around and you guys are just going like this. Look at your feet.
Okay.
And then and we're gonna stop
You can
up
walk,
on this.
you can walk where, so you can see where you're walking.
Okay, I'm looking down.
We're following.
I'm not peeking.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. See, I'm not looking. Oh, that sounds beautiful. Careful, guys. More steps. More steps.
More steps. More steps.
Please be careful. Wait, what? It sounds amazing. What?
Yeah, don't look yet. We're gonna go down. We're gonna go to the slide. We're gonna go down to the slide.
What?
1, 2, 3.
Oh my gosh!
My gosh. Yes! That's the reaction we want!
That is incredible. Wow, thank you so much. Oh my god.
It was really an honor. Here's the man that did it. Here's the man that played.
Oh wow.
You're welcome. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, it's so
Thank
beautiful.
you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm firing my therapist. This is it. Whoa.
That's exactly
No,
it.
really,
And
like.
you'll hear this throughout the whole house. It'll just echo. You
Oh.
now have
It's so stunning.
Look at the animals on there.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well, they need to
Wow.
drink, right?
it looks so natural and so beautiful and peaceful, and it's truly better than I could have ever
Oh, yeah, I
imagined.
never
Seriously.
Everyone
Oh my
is a
goodness,
unique work of art, one of a
Every
kind
single one.
custom creation. But as artists, we're artists with rock and water. Every waterfall is unique, you know. Every stone is different and every setting is different. And the nice thing is we decided to landscape it. It's only going to get nicer with age. It's just brand new. Next year, this time, it'll just be all the colors up there. It'll just be
No
beautiful.
way. So it just
can't.
gets better.
Better and
Yes.
better.
Every year gets
Every
better.
single year.
It's crazy.
We put in about 100 lights. So this thing is going to
Wait,
be
shut
blown
up.
up like a Christmas tree.
The chaos is over. I came back the morning after. We finished up everything last night. Sun was dropping down, lights came on, looked phenomenal, but I wanted to come back again in the morning just to double check everything, just because I'm particular about certain things. So my wife Ellen actually is over here, right over there. She is kind of watering some of the plants, rinsing off the rocks again, just tidying things up. I also wanted to check the water level in our big reservoir over here to make sure that we weren't losing any water other than from evaporation. Of course, a big giant waterfall like this cascading over all those big boulders, you have to expect some evaporation, but it was minimal. We lost just a little bit, but let me take you on a walkthrough of this thing because it is phenomenal. When we started out, first thing what we had to do, you remember, we came in, we pulled the trees from over here, removed a section of the fence, pulled it all back, giving ourselves access. We had to rip out all those old railroad ties that were here. Remember, there was a staircase literally right here. Old timber staircase, fallen apart, many years old, came in with all these beautiful boulders. This is gonna greatly stabilize everything. What we wanted to do is create a series of terraces. This allows for better interaction. It is impossible to play on a slope like this. You're gonna trip, you're gonna fall. It's too steep to do literally anything on that. So what we wanna do here, we have layers, we have ledges, we have boulders. So now we have all these nice, easy steps walking our way up to different viewpoints of this entire water feature. Remember, this is that existing patio. There was a buffer in between all this. Now we've come in and we dropped in some of these big boulders, which actually act as small seating areas. Our next step was to dig our reservoir. This is the source of all the water. So we have a 1,000-gallon reservoir using 30 of our AquaBlox. We have our pump vault located over here, sending all of the water up to the very top. So not only from a design, but also a functional perspective, is we had to have a connection from an overflow standpoint into this existing raceway over here. During the rainy periods, you get a lot of precipitation. This will overflow and it's going to be able to connect into this. So I wanted to have that connection. It functions as that overflow, just as you would find in nature, but it gives it that illusion. Everything that we do is designed around illusions. It is clearly not a natural water feature. It's not something you're going to find in nature. This is man-made. We want to make it look like it was actually found in nature. So we kind of have like a little spring pool up here on the very top, where we have an upwelling of water, and then all that water just starts cascading down, bouncing around all those different boulders, creating that beautiful sight and sounds that we're always looking for. You're going to see all this plant growth growing up. Now, I love stonework, but I also love to hide it. So having strategically located planting pockets tucked in throughout this entire feature, I believe is critical for the overall success of it. They nailed it. They did a phenomenal job with the plant choices, and I can't wait to see this a year, 2, maybe 3 years from now. It's going to look incredible. The addition of these beautiful little statues, again, just personalizes everything. They had those already here, so all we did was place them where they should be. You have the giraffe coming down drinking water out of that little creek bed. Sitting back, just looking at the way the waterfalls are working. Brian and I talked about this a little bit, you know, just looking at how all these things are designed and built. We've been working together for a quarter of a century, more than a quarter of a century, which is just crazy to even say. But because of that, we know exactly what we're looking for, and we know how to design and position different boulders to create different types of sounds as well as sights. I think that's the key. When you're up on the deck area and on the terraces above, the first thing that you're going to do, if you don't see it, you will hear it. And I think that is very, very important. You want to make sure that it is designed properly from a sound standpoint, because we've created all this stonework, and it's basically like an amphitheater. So we have all of that rushing water cascading down, churning and mixing up and creating that whitewater effect, and that sound just gets projected out. But it's the way the rocks are positioned. So when the water leaves the surface, as you see down in here, it gets all that whitewater action, which is basically air bubbles in the water. So that foamy, frothy look is because we have so much velocity and drama coming down of that flowing water. It churns it up, and that's what's actually creating that sound. Not only is it creating that sound, but it's doing something that I love talking about. It's giving us that biochemical connection to water. Remember, water is the most powerful compound on planet Earth. It shapes our continents. It brings the life-giving precipitation to our farmlands and our hillsides and our rainforests around the world. It feeds us internally. Our bodies are made out of 78% water. The same compounds that are found in the oceans are literally found in our body as well. There's a connection inside of us that's kind of hardwired. We are designed and built around water. We need it in everything and anything that we do. So by having this aquatic connection, it is very, very peaceful. And it's because it's inside of us. There is some unique reaction, and you can't really explain it. But when you ask people what they feel when they get around water, it's usually universally peace. But it hits everybody a little bit differently. And that's what I love about what we do. Another water feature in the books, and I tell you what, we're our own toughest critics, and this turned out phenomenal. And I could tell by the look on Laura and Steven's faces, as well as Alfie, who's still down here playing in the water. This is exactly why we do what we do. We said it right in the very beginning. Water's the most powerful force on planet Earth. It draws you in. We have an internal connection with it, so when we can bring this gift of water into literally any place in the entire world, makes it all worthwhile. I love the science, technology, the engineering, the art, the math, all these different pieces and parts that come together to create living works of art. This is a living, breathing ecosystem that we put in 3 days. We had an incredible team out here. And I tell you what, I'm blown away by it, and I'm looking forward to the next one. See you soon.